how do I go about pricing my games, and you know, at the beginning you might have a lot of questions about, you know, how much you should be charging for a game. Should you be charging for a game? Should it be free? And you know, and all the different things that go into the business side of selling a game. So when I started, I didn't really want to make a game and you know, make it free. And the main reason for that is because I wanted to sell the game. I wanted to make a profit. And a lot of you might say, well, the you know, the iOS market is saturated. There's way too many games. There's too many competitions, and there is a lot of competition, and the market, there's a lot of games. But I think, you know, if you, and this is what I've done, is if you do something unique and you know, make it beautiful and make it polished. It doesn't need to be super complicated. It doesn't need to have all these, you know, hundreds of levels, but you want to make it polished enough that, you know, what you're asking for as far as like the price, it's, you know, people are not gonna get mad just because you're charging them too much. So you want to always like look at for ideas. You know, what I normally do before pricing a game is I look at the market. I look at what people are charging for the game that I'm building, and I also look for advantages. I look at, well, you know, I might make these way better, or mine has this new mechanic, and you know, they're gonna be able to play more because it's an infinite, maybe an infinite scroller, and it's unlimited levels. So I mean, there's just a lot of different things to consider where you're making a game and you want to charge for a game. You also want to think about, you know, how much content you're providing. Are you providing enough content that, you know, people are gonna say, yeah, I spent $1, but is that dollar, you know, is that worth what you're providing? And you might say in your head, yes, it is, but you have to do some analysis and look at the market and see what people are charging. A lot of times I've seen that, you know, because there's so much demand, a lot of users are gonna say, well, why are you charging so much where all these other games are free? And to tell you the truth, I don't really care too much about what people say. So, and I don't want to be rude. I just want to be honest. Like, if you think your game is worth $2, $3, and that's what your gut tells you, charge $2, charge $3. You might not sell enough. You might not sell a lot. So that's what you gotta look at analytics, look at data, and determine, yeah, my price is too high. It's not even selling. So, for example, I might release, you know, when I release Cubix, I charge 99 cents for a copy, and you know, I did really well. It got a lot of copies, but at the beginning I wasn't really sure, should I make this free? Should I charge something in advance? And you know, during history, all the games that I've been offering, I've been selling, and the reason for that is because I put a lot of time and effort. You know, I might make a game that takes me 6 months or takes me 3 months. So as an indie game developer, I don't really have the capability of just making it free and see how it goes and not make any profit out of it, because I want this to be a career. I want this to be a business. So that's why I charge money in advance. And yes, there are a lot of ways to make money with free games, but your games have to go viral. I mean, they have to do really well. You have to have a lot of copies. You gotta get featured. And in order to start making money with ads and selling in-app purchases. So to me, I'd rather take the safe route and charge money in advance, take more time to work on the game, provide more content, and then, you know, that it justify the price that you're charging to the market. So make sure that you look at the advantages and disadvantages of both. I actually have shipped games that are free because I want to test to see how the market works. So you wanna actually try to do both. Make sure that you're releasing free games and then pay games, and you're comparing. So for tools, I use different analytic tools. So for like my website, because I might have links in the games that link back to my website, I use, simple tools like Google Analytics to track that information. And then for games, to determine, if people are playing the game, if they're buying in-app purchases, I use Game Analytics. And I like Game Analytics because it's very, very simple to integrate. It's basically just going to their website, downloading their SDK, and then that's it. I mean, you're pretty much set with their analytic system. And then if you want to capture custom events, let's say that you want to capture how many people are buying a product or how many people are going into the product screen and buying a sword, but they didn't click on purchase, but they actually visited that screen. So you can actually do custom events in there, just like you do in Google for websites and other things. So I like Game Analytics for that. You can also use Unity Analytics. They also provide similar tools. I like Game Analytics because it actually gives me a lot more data. So it's a little bit more extended than Unity. I know Unity is making a lot of improvements. So yeah, make sure that you're looking at your data. Make sure that you're tracking your players and you understand if they, if they're buying in-app purchases, if they're at what point are they leaving the application. That's very, very important. So going back to the topic of if you should sell your game, if you should charge for for your game, for your indie game, it depends. And like I said, just make sure that you're looking at, competitors, make sure you're reviewing the market before you're pricing your game. So I hope this was helpful, guys, and good luck. If you have any questions, let me know about, you might not want to charge for a game. You might want to make it free. So I'm always happy to, to discuss the advantages and disadvantages. Feel free to add that in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again, guys.